What's up, Mavs fans? We just filmed an entire video, so that video is still on this video coming up in a second. But right before we published it here on YouTube, this news dropped from Mavs PR that the Mavericks announced that Maxi Kleber underwent surgery to address a right hamstring tear. Kleber will begin rehab immediately, and there is no timetable for his return at this point. So quick thoughts, and coming up in the video, I do refer to Kleber a couple of times, so don't be confused. Obviously, I mean, it's not good, right? I mean, he's going to miss at least a couple months, maybe the entire season. Who knows? I mean, a hamstring tear. I mean, for you Cowboys fans out there, Tyron Smith tore his hamstring during training camp, and he's just now getting back. So, I mean, that's like 3.5 months there. So, I mean, even if it's 2.5, 3 months, I mean, you're looking at March is probably what we're looking at here, maybe February. So, not good ideally, or obviously, and, this Mavericks team is struggling right now, which is what we'll talk about here in a second. But show Maxi some love. Type 42 in the comments because the Mavs have really struggled this year when he has not played. So get the 42s going. We hope you see you soon, Maxi. You're watching Mavericks Today by Chat Sports. I am Harrison Graham as I walk off set. No, unlike Luka Doncic and Jason Kidd, I will be staying throughout this entire episode as they both got ejected last night. And I think that's kind of a good place to start, as this team is kind of in shambles right now. Things are just not going well. You know, a week or two ago, we thought this team was getting some momentum, had won 3 or 4 games in a row. Things were trending up. And it just hasn't been good since then. 15-16 through 31 games, 3-10 on the road. Now, one silver lining is this is what the Mavs did last year. I think they were 16-18 through their first 34 games, and then they were great after that. But you just don't get the sense that something is just going to randomly start clicking here with the current roster in place. And now you've got a lot of injuries piling up too. I mean, Dwight Powell, thigh contusion, could be back tomorrow, but he's dealing with that. Josh Green's got an elbow sprain, going to miss at least the next 2 games. I don't know if we'll see Maxi Kleber again this year with the hamstring tear. He's out for an extended period of time. Now Dorian Finney-Smith has an adductor strain. He's going to miss some time. Luka Doncic is playing through a quad strain, but again, like, he's having to do so much on his own, and you can see the frustration boiling over, which is what happened last night when he didn't get a call when he thought he deserved one. It's just not good right now. Now, Dallas did put Christian Wood in the starting lineup last night for, I guess technically the second time, but for the first time in a game where starters weren't resting. 15-13, pretty solid performance. Only 4 of 11 from the field, so not the most efficient play. But here's what's concerning. When Christian Wood plays 30 minutes or more, the Mavs are now 1-8. I don't know what to make of that, but you can't not play him. I mean, he's your second, third best player, maybe third, but I'd probably have Dinwiddie ahead of him. But the point being is, you just don't have enough. I mean, this roster is just not good enough right now, and now with some injuries piling up, Mavs are not in a good position. You can see the frustration. We'll kind of shift to that next as Luka and Jason Kidd were ejected as the Rodney Mott show was on full display last night. Even Luka Doncic after the game admitted, he was like, yeah, I deserved the first tee, but I was shocked when I got the second one. And if anyone knows if he should get teed up or not, it's Luka. I mean, the guy gets teed up every other game. But he was displeased with that. Jason Kidd, here was his whole press conference after the game. He said, I'm here because I have to be here. I already gave up money, so I don't want to give up any more. So no questions. They were the better team tonight, and we'll go from there. Thanks for showing up. And then he walked off set. Jason Kidd is searching for answers, and he's someone who doesn't look confident right now. And, I think there's probably some Bucks fans out there that are saying, yeah, this is kind of the Jason Kidd experience, that early on the honeymoon phase hits. He's a former NBA point guard. You think he's the perfect fit. And then, as time goes on, you start to question those things. I'm not sitting here saying that the Mavericks can't right the ship here at some point, even if it's not this year, it could be next year. But things aren't going well. The roster doesn't fit. Luka's getting frustrated. Jason Kidd isn't pushing the right buttons. He doesn't know what buttons to push. So I don't know where you go from here if you're Dallas. I mean, obviously, I think a trade could happen at some point, but what ammunition do you really have to vastly improve this basketball team. So it's tough right now. It's really, really tough right now. And I want to ask you guys this question. Who is to blame for the Mavericks' struggles right now? I think it's the roster construction, so I'll blame Nico in the front office. You screwed up the Jalen Brunson thing. And, you know, you can't go back in a time machine. And going into last season, I mean, that was a guy that didn't even play in a playoff series, basically. So, you know, sometimes mistakes happen, but you screwed that up by not getting a deal done. You went in on JaVale McGee because you needed rebounding and shot blocking. He's giving you nothing. I still don't dislike the Christian Wood move. I mean, worst case, he's off your books. Knowing you gave up was bad. I think that's been fine for the most part, but I think you could argue he hasn't been used properly. So, I don't know. I'm going to go front office and maybe coaching a little bit, but mostly front office. This just isn't a roster that is poised to win in today's NBA. It's just not going to happen. So let me know, what do you guys think? Who do you blame for the Mavericks' struggles? Now, if you're struggling with your finances or if you're looking for a way to save some money each month, Rocket Money is going to help you do that. Download the Rocket Money app for free by going to our link, rocketmoney.com/NBA Now. They're going to help you cancel any subscriptions that you no longer use or no longer want to use and pay for with the single click of a button. What they do is they show you all of your subscriptions on one screen. It's like, okay, I'm paying this much for Netflix, Hulu, Prime Video. Don't haven't used that in a year. I want to cancel that. You click the cancel button next to any subscription you don't want anymore. They will handle the rest for you. They will contact that subscription company, and you will no longer be getting charged. So that's very, very nice. Single click of a button. You can also just stay on top of your upcoming bills and your overall finances as a whole with Rocket Money. It's a really, really user-friendly app, formerly known as Truebill. It's Rocket Money. So save money with Rocket Money by going to rocketmoney.com/NBA Now. Download the app today, and you'll realize that you're probably spending hundreds of dollars per year more than you need to. So save some money with Rocket Money. All right, let's get to some trade rumors, as this team is probably going to look for some kind of answer. Oh, yes, let's bring Nerlens Noel back. Do we want to, though? I don't know. Apparently, per Ian Begley of SNY, the Mavs have touched base with Detroit on a potential Nerlens Noel trade. Here's what Begley had to say, that the Mavericks and Pistons have touched base recently on trade talks, which Nerlens Noel's name came up. He has drawn interest from several contending teams who have struggled with rim protection, and obviously Dallas is one of those, with especially Maxi Kleber getting hurt. Noel was a key force in the New York Knicks defense in 2021 when the club made a surprise run to the playoffs. I mean, look, I'm not insanely against it. It's a new regime now, but do you really want to go down this route again? I mean, maybe you do. I don't know. I mean, JaVale McGee stinks. Dwight Powell can't rim protect. Kleber's out for an extended period of time, and I like Christian Wood, but he's not a great defender. He's getting a little better on that end. Now, here's the problem. Nerlens Noel has done nothing this year, so I guess on the positive side, you could probably get him for pretty cheap. You wouldn't have to give up a future first-round pick, so maybe you send something like Dwight Powell in a second over for Nerlens Noel and call it a day. But he's the type of player that the Mavs need if he's fully engaged and playing well. But it is kind of telling that he can't even get on the court with the Pistons. I do have concerns about that. And, hey, bring back the hot dogs, baby. Remember that incident where at halftime he grabbed a hot dog and was eating hot dogs on the bench? That was a good time. So, yeah, who knows, man. I will say this. I expect Dallas to be active at the trade deadline. When it comes to Nerlens, a lot of that, I think, was he and Rick Carlisle butted heads. He's gone. Donnie is gone as well. So I wouldn't rule out the possibility of a reunion here. But I'll tell you this. I expect Nico and Cuban and those guys to be active because you gotta try something, man, because this regime, this roster is not getting it done right now. You got injuries piling up. You need something, a spark of energy. Is Nerlens Noel that? I don't know. But you can't roll with what you currently have. Would you trade for Nerlens Noel? Type T for trade or P for pass. Get your votes in down in the comment section below. Would you trade for the former Mavs center? Win or lose, we still booze. Kidding. We still talk Mavericks basketball here on the channel. So hit that subscribe button. We're going to have you covered all season long, leading up to the trade deadline, the offseason, of course, as well. So subscribe to Mavericks today. It's youtube.com/MavsTV. All right, how about trading for Immanuel Quickley? This could be an interesting one for the Mavericks. Now, Kemba Walker's on board, and he's actually looked like someone who could help you a little bit. But the Mavs could certainly still use some help. Our good pal Eric Pincus of Bleacher Report had this to say, saying New York may be open to bigger deals that include Derrick Rose, Obi Toppin, Immanuel Quickley, but only if it brings back players to help further this team's playoff chances. Some competing executives agree that the Mavericks should target Quickley if available. For the right price, I'm definitely down. I like him as kind of a bench spark plug. I think he's instant offense. Now, he's very, very hit and miss, and his splits certainly show that. I mean, he's a streaky offensive player, 39% from the field, 35.5% from three, but he can dish a little bit. He can play the 1 or the 2. He can ISO, so I like his game. He's not a starter. He's not I don't think he's, if you're not, I'll put it this way. The Mavs are an Immanuel Quickley away from making a deep playoff run, but I do think he could help. He's a guy that could grow with this team and potentially, be a long-term backup point guard, backup 2 guard, something like that. So I could definitely be a little bit interested in that possibility. But again, I do think trades could be coming for this basketball team. Now, what position do the Mavs need to upgrade the most? Guard, wing, forward, big. What do you think? What position do you think Dallas needs to target? I just think they need more impactful players, period, all across the roster. So let me know, what position would you look at the most? All right, Mavs fans, it's a little tough right now, but 15-16, you're not out of it. I mentioned last year it's we saw what happened a year ago, but the difference is where's the help going to come from? I mean, is Christian Wood going to be 25-12 the rest of the year? I don't think that's going to happen. So we'll see where things go from here. We'll still be here to cover it all. If you're still a diehard fan, type MFFL in the comments. We'll see you next time here on Mavericks Today.